Hello students, welcome to this math video tutorial on Area Supernode, Part 1, Area of Rectangles. So let's just start with this note at the top. Remember, area refers to how much space something covers in 2D space. So let's look at Part A, Area of Rectangles. We have a diagram of a rectangle here, so let's count the units. So as we count vertically, we have 3 units. And if we count horizontally, we see that we have 4 units. All right, let's start with the note. A rectangle has a length or base and a width or height. Now, up until this point, we may have always referred to the length and the width when we're talking about rectangles. However, in grade 7, we start to look at these measurements as the base and as the height. So we're going to be using these terms more often. The length or base is always the longest side. Okay, very important. The length or base is always the longest side. So when we look at our model here, or our example, we have one measurement of 3 units and we have one measurement of 4 units. So the base will be 4 units because it is the longest side. When solving area problems, always follow this method. So we have a 5-line method here. Line 1 is the formula line. So the formula is area of a rectangle equals base times height. Line 2, the information line. Write down what we know. Well, we're given the base measurement. The base measurement is 4 units. We're given the height measurement. The height measurement is 3 units. Next is the substitution line. So what we do is we take the formula and we substitute the information that we know. So we don't know the area, but we know the base, 4 units, times the height, which is 3 units. The fourth line is the answer line, where we do our calculations. So area equals 4 times 3 is 12. And don't forget our units. In terms of area, remember, area units are always something squared. Okay, this is very important to remember. Finally, we just write a therefore statement for the conclusion line. Therefore, the area is 12 units squared. There we go. Simple procedure, simple method, 5 lines, easy calculations. Okay, let's go on to example 2. Example 2, we're given a diagram. One measurement is 2 centimeters, one measurement is 4.5 centimeters. So which one would be the base? Well, the base is always the longest side. So let's just write here, base equals 4.5 centimeters, and therefore the other measurement must be the height. Now, it doesn't matter which measurement lies on the vertical axis or the horizontal axis. Just follow the rule that the longest side is always going to be the base. All right, let's start with our 5-line solution here. Line number 1, the formula line. Area of a rectangle equals base times height. That's the formula line. The next line is the information line. So what do we know? Well, we're given the base. The base is 4.5, and in this case we have units, they are centimeters. And we're given the height. Height is 2 centimeters. The third line is the substitution line. So we bring back the formula and then we fill in what we know. We don't know the area, but we know the base, 4.5 centimeters times 2 centimeters. Now in this line, you can add the units if you want, but it's okay to omit or leave out the units, as long as we remember to put them back in on the next line. All right, the fourth line is the calculation line or the answer line. So 4.5 times 2 is 9. Now don't forget our units. Our units were centimeters, and of course, because it's area, it has to be squared. Final line is our conclusion statement. Therefore, the area is 9 centimeters squared. Easy. Okay, let's move on to example 3. Now, example 3, it's always nice to have a diagram because it's very easy to visualize what is being asked of us. This question is a little bit different because look, we're given the area and we're asked to find the height. So it's a little bit different question, isn't it? So let's see how we work this one out. We start with our 5-line solution. First line is our formula line. Area of a rectangle equals base times height. Okay? That part doesn't change. The second line is our information line. So again, what do we know? Well, in this case, we actually know the area, 650 millimeters squared. And we also know we're going to assume this is the base because here I've labeled it as h equals question mark. So we know that the base equals 70 millimeters. So what are we asked to find? We're asked to find the height. Okay, let's go to line 3, the substitution line. So in this case, we know the area. It's 650. Equal sign comes next. Do we know the base? Yes, we do. We know that the base is 70, but we do not know the height. Okay, so we want to solve for the height. So let's look at the right side of the equation. We have 70 times h. We want h standing alone on the right side of the equation. So we have to get rid of the times 70. So in order to get rid of the times 70, we do the opposite to both sides. So we actually divide both sides by 70. And I want you to write that on both sides so that you're showing your work, you're showing what you're doing. Now we have to do it on both sides because this is an equation, right? We have an equal sign in the middle. So we have to balance what we do on the right side with what we do on the left side. So let's see what's happening here. Times 70 divided by 70 cancels each other out. That's what we want. Okay? So let's go to a second line for this solution. So if 70 times 70 divided by 70 cancels each other out, we have only h on the right-hand side, and that's what we wanted. We wanted to have h standing alone. We wanted to get rid of these numbers. So then using our calculator, if we divide 650 divided by 70, what do you get? I get 9.29 millimeters. Now, you got to remember that this is not millimeters squared because it's not asking for area. This is a height. A height is a linear measurement, no squared. Finally, our conclusion statement. Therefore, the height is 9.29 millimeters. Okay, we'll get lots of practice with this type of question. We're actually using a bit of algebra to solve it. Okay, so let's go on to example 4. Example 4 is a really good opportunity to see how area calculations are used in the real world. So let's read it together. Carpet costs $7.50 per square meter. So what does that mean? That means if you go to the store, Home Depot, and you buy 1 square meter of carpet, so we have 1 meter by 1 meter, this square of carpet costs $7.50. So the question is asking, how much would it cost to carpet in a room where the measurements are 5.5 meters by 7.1 meters? Okay, so let's draw a little diagram to help us out. Whenever we have a word problem, it's always nice to have a very rough sketch of a diagram. So let's imagine that the room is a rectangle. Okay, and what are the dimensions? Well, the longer side is 7.1 meters, and then the shorter side is 5.5 meters. Well, because we're introducing this unit as area, this is probably going to start out as an area question. So let's do it. Let's do our 5-line solution. So line number 1 is the formula line. Area of a rectangle equals base times height. The second line is our information line. So what do we know? We know that the longer side is the base. The longer side is 7.1 meters. And that the shorter side is the height. The height is 5.5 meters. Now, if you're getting more comfortable with this, you can get ahead of me. That's fine. Line number 3 is the substitution line. Well, we don't know the area, so that just has to stay as A. We know the base is 7.1 meters. We know that the height is 5.5 meters. That's our substitution line. All right, our calculation or our answer line, if you're using your calculator, what did you get? Well, I got 39.05 meters squared. Okay, now we don't put our conclusion line here because we're not quite done. Now we know the area of our room. Okay, so now we know the area of this room is 39.05. Well, let's go back to our original question. The original question is, how much would it cost to put carpet in this room? We know that 1 meter by 1 meter squared of carpet costs $7.50, but our room is not 1 meter by 1 meter. It has an area of 39.05 meters. So let's go over here and start part 2 of our answer. So, carpet costs, or carpet cost. So what we have to do is, we have to take the area and we have to multiply it by the cost of 1 meter squared. So we take our area of 39.05 meters squared and we multiply it by $7.50. So why don't you calculate that on your calculator right now? So I got an answer of $292.88. Did you get that answer? All right, now our conclusion statement. Therefore, it would cost $292.88 to carpet this room. Okay? So there's a question that shows us the real life application of area. Okay, so that concludes part one, part A, area of rectangles. Thanks for watching. Bye.